probably because I know you guys. Good morning, everybody. You're very welcome to today's interview. We're joined by Eamon Donovan. Eamon is the Marketing Director for Modus. So you're very welcome, Eamon. Thanks for joining
us. Morning, Bernie. How are you?
Great. Would you like to give us a bit of background to your business?
Okay, well, we're a website design and development company, and we set up in 2002 in Dublin. And we have a broad base of clients. We look after a lot of entertainment industry clients like Aiken Promotions, Vickers Street. We look after the Irish Music Rights Organisation, or IMRO. We deal with some member organizations. So we deal with INDI, which is the dietitians, ISCP, which is physiotherapists. So we look after all of their website needs. We deal with a lot of clients in Dublin, a good few clients in Laois, and then a smattering of clients around the rest of the country as well. So the ones you'd know in Laois would be the likes of Shaw's Department Stores, Laois Today, Laois Tourism, Music Generation Laois. They would be the main ones around here. In the last couple of months during the whole pandemic, we've managed to sign up some new clients, and we've got, let me see, one in Tipperary, one in Clare, one in Leitrim, and one in Waterford. So we're kind of all over the country. We can't go meet them at the moment, but
you know. Well, look, and yeah. would those new businesses, have they pivoted, or were they online before? They just upgrading what they had existing?
They're upgrading. Like say the ones in Clare and Tipperary, they're both radio stations, Clare FM and Tip FM. Okay. And they came to us because we're looking after the Laois Today website, and because in the past we worked with Phantom FM and Radio Nova in Dublin. Okay. So we've, radio websites can be a bit tricky, and you've got live streams, you've got like advertising on the website, you've got playlists, you've got a whole heap of things going on. And it's something we've got competence in. So like we haven't been down to Ennis or down to Clonmel to meet the new client, but I mean, we're working away for them.
Yeah, and well, I have to say the Laois Today website is excellent. So if that's an example of your work, very impressive.
Yeah, and that's coming up to 4 years ago, and that was the brainchild of a guy called Stephen Miller, who
Stephen's a member of the chamber.
Yeah, and like he's a very sharp guy, and he was working with the Limerick Leader, and he wanted to get off the commuting treadmill and set up the journal in Laois for Laois. And that's what he's got, and he's constantly improving it, and he keeps us on our toes.
In fairness, every time I speak to Stephen, he has a new idea, and he's pivoting and changing as the market requires, and it's very impressive.
Oh, he is, and it's constantly changing market, and like he's in a good space, because like you have the traditional media that are there, and like, he's not quite a one-man show. He started off as one, but like he's there. He's got his journalists with him. He's got his team, and like he's much faster to turn around than the bigger organizations that he's up against. Yeah. And he's more open to ideas, and he'll try something, and if it doesn't work, he'll go, sod it, we'll try something else. So he's got that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good guy, and he's a great guy for giving us referrals. Like I really like one of the bits of advice I got off our accountants years ago was look after the 20% of your clients that give you referrals, give you testimonials. They're nice to deal with. They pay their bills on time. And if you can kind of focus on those people and kind of love bomb them out of it and really look after them, it does come back to pay you back over time.
Absolutely. Well, customer service absolutely is key.
Absolutely, yeah. Look after the ones who look after you, and exactly. And it works,
Exactly. So in terms of, the last 10, 11 months, I mean, I can't believe I'm even saying 10 or 11 months when it's like it was 2 months, it was 3 months, and here we are again. But look, it is what it is, and I think everyone has kind of, realized we're in it for another while. And then, please God, we're exit. So, how has the COVID experience been for you guys? Has it changed much?
We've been lucky in a way. I mean, our office is in Dublin, and all our staff are working remotely now, and realistically, the only benefit from being in the office is you can kind of have creative kind of
Yeah, the banter
back
and
and
the
forth. You can go
yeah,
down to the pub for lunch, and you can
yeah,
do stuff like that, and you can get out of the office. Whereas now we're all working remotely, and that one of the harder things as well is about meeting clients. I was just saying about, we couldn't go down to Ennis or down to Clonmel to meet those new clients. We've another one down to Waterford. We can't drop down to Tramore to meet them.
yeah,
So you have to do everything on say a Zoom call with like 5 or 6 faces looking back at you,
yeah,
and you're I don't think you get that kind of intimacy or the kind of the chance to sit back and kind of
yeah,
ask questions and see. The first thing we would do when we meet a new client is we'd sit down and we'd say, right, tell us what you're looking for. And then we would kind of make a few suggestions, and there'd be a bit of back and forth. And then we would get a kind of a picture of what they want. And then we would go away and we'd draw it up, and we would cost it for them and come back to them and say, look, this is what we think you're looking for. These are the websites that you like. This is what you like about them. This is the functionality that you say you need, and we think it would work like this. How does that sound? It's difficult to do that over Zoom,
yeah,
and it's bloody impossible to do it over emails, back
yeah,
and forth and back and forth. Sometimes you just need a meeting.
yeah,
Now, it has cut out a lot of kind of pointless meetings, which is good.
yeah.
And
And we've all reduced our carbon footprint into the
oh,
mix as
certainly
well.
has,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So look, and I agree that connection and that chemistry that you can make when you walk into a room, when you shake the person's hand, when you sit down and have the cup of coffee. Yeah, that is
Absolutely, yeah.
gone. And it's definitely harder to do that on Zoom. But look, people are winning business on Zoom, and like yourself, we've had a lot of members join since the start of the pandemic, and I've never
Okay.
met them, and they've never got the chance to come into a room and meet anyone. But
Wow.
it's yeah, I mean that was kind of something I hadn't expected. And we even for the first month in a good while have pipeline of members. So that's kind of nice as well. I suppose people are seeing the
Absolutely, yeah,
benefits,
yeah.
yeah, of being part of a network. So in terms of kind of moving forward and new opportunities, do you have any plans for expanding the business, or are you happy to, just continue what you're doing in a really good way?
We're kind of continuing what we're doing, but we're kind of modular. Like if we like if we need somebody with a certain set of skills, or if we need a type of programmer for a particular website project that we're working on, we hire them in.
Yeah,
Like, we have the core team and with all our skills, but if we need a specialist, we'll get them in. Like, for instance, we have a search engine optimization, an SEO guy, an Australian guy called James, and he has his own company. We used him on the Laois Tourism website. We've used him on other projects around Dublin as well. And if we need James, we just
yeah,
pull him in, or client wants some SEO done, because that's a very specialist,
it's a
very
science.
specialist
Yeah,
work, and it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. But you're dealing with Google that changes its algorithm something like 75 times a year.
yeah,
And he's on top
yeah,
of that, and he's
yeah.
great at the digital marketing. Like, say, with the Laois Tourism site, people don't go Google mountain biking in the Slieve Blooms.
No,
They
they
go,
don't,
they,
because
they
they
go
don't know, what they're looking for when they
no,
even
they
go
Google
searching.
mountain biking Ireland, or
Yeah, yeah,
like, or canal walks Ireland, or whatever. So you want them to find the Slieve Blooms, you want them to find Vickerstown, you want them to find whatever.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and even though he's an Aussie, he knows how to do that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
we hire him in for that kind of work. I think on the Laois Tourism side, we had another guy we hired in. We don't often need copywriters, so we kind of hired him into order. And the copywriter we used for that particular job, a fella called Diarmid, we hired him in. He did a fantastic job, and I think he got work out of it, because
yeah.
people were really impressed with his work, and he was
Look, that's a
laser
very
sharp.
impressive. It's a very impressive website. I was at the launch. That's
Yeah, I
probably the
remember that. Yeah.
last time there were people in a room in Laois at any kind of an event. That was
It's one of the last things I was at. Yeah, I mean, like, you kind of think, what was the last concert I was at? What was the last
yeah,
launch I was at?
yeah,
Like, and I think I think that's the last one.
Yeah, because that was just after the Laois Jobs Fair. It was about a week after.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
that was the end of February. Yeah, so that was
upstairs in the Midland Park. Yeah,
in their lovely
the last
new
time
rooms.
we're all breeding our germs on each other. Yeah.
Well, we didn't know we had any at that point.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But
living
look,
in our own filth.
Exactly. But look, it's is there anything else you'd like to add? Any other message out to the members?
Jesus, I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head.
So for anyone who's looking for maybe a complicated,
like basically what we do is we're like a company's web department. We're there to design, develop, support, maintain, advise, protect, and guide the client. So rather than have somebody in your office who professes to be the web expert, we're there, and like if it's a small project or a large project, we're there and we have the expertise, and if we don't have the expertise, we'll get it in and we'll get the job done. And we've been with a lot of the same clients for years, and they've referred us to newer clients, and we've been growing steadily. And we like to grow with the client, and we'd like to be there for the client to fall back on. So like we're no strangers to getting emails at all hours of the day and night, but we're there, and we have a reputation for picking up the phone or responding to the email, and if there is a problem. And I think it's stud to us. It's too small a country to mess people around. Like, so if you do a good job, word gets around. It's like the old marketing adage: if you do something right, the person will tell 4 people. If you do something wrong, they'll tell something like 16 people. So like
exactly.
We try to watch our P&Qs and look after the clients as best we can, and hope that word gets around.
Yeah, it sounds like building long-term relationships is such a thing. It's
absolutely key for us.
And you'll be there for the revamp of the website or the new website, and whatever comes along over the following years. That's a good approach.
That's it. Yeah. Like it's a bit like changing your car. Like most people would change their car every few years.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the clients we've got, we would have had them in the pre iPhone era. So they would have had a website that works on desktop or laptop. Nowadays, when we build a website, we build them mobile first.
Yeah.
So you're starting off for it to work on this. And as the website can detect, it's responsive, so it can detect what kind of device it's being viewed on. So the bigger the screen, the more bells and whistles. So you get a stripped down version on your mobile phone, and if you're looking at it on a widescreen TV size computer monitor, you've got it's all singing, all dancing. So that's the way websites have gone. Most e-commerce these days is on mobile devices. Most websites are viewed on mobile devices. So we have to cater to that. It has to be, all the images have to be small enough that they'll download quick if you're on a slow connection sitting on the Dublin to Cork train. It's not
back in the day when people commuted.
Yeah, well, they still are at 25% capacity, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like not everyone's sitting at home with like fiber broadband.
No.
You could have people sitting in a remote home office with poor connection, so they still need to be able to access your sites.
Yeah, absolutely.
They mightn't be booking gigs in Vicar Street, or they mightn't be buying rings off Design Yard at the moment, but or checking out when the sale in Shaw's is happening, but
or booking flights anywhere,
or booking flights. Well, that's don't start me on that.
Well, look, that's for another conversation. But look, Eamon, it was great to get an insight into Modus, and you certainly seem to have a very strong philosophy on working with your customers and building long-term relationships. And I think that's absolutely key. That's a really good philosophy for any business, really. To have.
Can I just say thanks very much to everything the Chamber's doing about keeping us informed about government stuff like the employee wage subsidy scheme, the various initiatives that are going on, because like quite often it's your
it's a
newsletters
minefield.
or your social that we find out, oh, the government's doing this, that, or the other, you know.
Yeah.
So
Look, in fairness, you know, we're part of the Chambers Ireland network, and it's great to have those at our fingertips, and they provide the information to me, and it means that people are up to date, you know. And when someone rings me and they don't know about the support, I'm going, well, we did, you know, do you not read my newsletter? But look, it's all there. And I know there's a lot of information comes out, and some information gets lost, and a lot of people, if it's not relevant on the day, it's going to pass them by. But that's why I keep sending out the same stuff, in case you're wondering why you might see the same information. But look, it's great that the chamber is here, and certainly when the pandemic hit this time last year, or March, it was kind of, how are we going to continue to support the members? But look, we've been able to do it, and delighted that we're here to help, and at the end of a phone as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thanks
well,
very much, Bernie.
Thanks very much, and hopefully we'll meet soon at an event.
Absolutely.
In the new world post-COVID.
Okay.
All right.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.